There are some federal workers who are going to homeless shelters to get food.
Well, I know they are, and I don't really quite understand why. The 30 days of pay that some people will be out, there's no real reason why they shouldn't be able to get a loan against it.
This is so much bigger than any one person. It is a little bit of pain, but it's going to be for the future of our country.
And as the federal government continues to inflict this pain on its own citizens, all because of President Trump's demand for a border wall.
Federal workers who are not being paid have begun holding protests across the country.
With Democrats controlling the House, a funding deal compromise doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon.
No checks will go out to those furloughed government workers, nearly 1 million of them. Other workers will not get back pay. And look at this tonight, demonstrations in Ogden, Utah, at Federal Plaza in Chicago, at the IRS building in Covington, Kentucky, and in Washington, D.C. across this country. And tonight the Coast Guard is out with this memo, advice to its workers who are not getting paid, telling them to be creative without their pay, have a garage sale, offer to watch children, walk pets, house sit, become a mystery shopper. ABC's Steve Osunsami with workers across this country who say this isn't politics, this is their lives.
Mexico's going to pay for it.
How?
Because they're making a fortune.
But how can you get Mexico to pay?
It's called negotiation. Do you have any doubt that I will get them to pay for the wall? They will pay for the wall. The federal government remains shut down for one reason, and one reason only, because Democrats will not fund border security.
The Sandy Cedar Port of Entry is now closed. Please exit in the proper manner to the nearest exit of immigration checkpoint. The Sandy Cedar Port of Entry is now closed. Please exit in the proper manner to the nearest exit of immigration checkpoint.
Let's find out what's happening right now with lawmakers and these bills to reopen the government. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel is on Capitol Hill tonight. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. Once there's an agreement, things move very quickly here on Capitol Hill. This bill has cleared the Senate, should pass the House very soon, and then be sent up to the president to sign to get furloughed feds back to work.
When he said he would take responsibility for a shutdown.
I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it.
Pelosi says even without a deal, House Democrats will take action Thursday to end the shutdown when they take control of the House.
We begin this morning with the reopening of the federal government. President Trump and Congress reached an agreement last night to end the 35-day partial government shutdown for at least 3 weeks. The deal provides a window until mid-February for negotiations on border security. It also means that more than 750,000 federal workers will get paid for the first time in more than a month. Nicole Killian is at the White House with the latest. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning to you, Anthony. And late last night, President Trump signed that bill to reopen the federal government, but it doesn't include money for the border wall. And some Republicans are criticizing the move as a concession to Democrats. But in a tweet, the president denied he caved in.
In a short while, I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible. It'll happen fast. I am asking Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to put this proposal on the floor immediately.
I have to use some twice.
This president said it was going to be conditional border security, building that wall, and he just reversed himself. That's a victory for Nancy Pelosi. It will be perceived as such on every television monitor and screen in the country. And to deny it is to try to escape from reality. And that we ain't going to do here.
the threat of another government shutdown remains.
If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency. I think we have a chance, yeah. I think we have a good chance. We're going to work with the Democrats, we're going to see. And if we can't do that, then we'll do, obviously, we're going to do the emergency, because that's what it is. It's a national emergency. These are Hispanic pastors and reverends and ministers, and they understand better than anybody. It's an emergency. It's a humanitarian emergency. And we are going to take care of our border. It's going to be done. And crime is going to go down throughout our whole country, not just at the border. And the border is the least of it. It's what comes in through the border and permeates throughout the whole country. And you're going to see drugs drop way down, because a big percentage come in through the border. You will see drugs way down. You're going to see crime go way down. So we're going to do it, and we're doing well, and I really appreciate your being here. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
It was not a presidential tweet, but a text that lit up cell phones and social media today. It was the first test of the National Wireless Presidential Emergency Alert System. It was only a test.
For the first time ever tomorrow, Americans nationwide will receive an alert on their cell phones from President Trump. But it won't be a personal message. It's the first test of a national presidential alert system that will let any president issue a warning about a crisis. That could include a missile launched by another country at the U.S. or a tsunami.
The government is preparing for its first ever test of the National Emergency Alert System today.
At 2:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a presidential alert will be sent to all cell phones all across the country. The alert is designed to issue a warning about a crisis. That could include anything from a missile launched by another country at the U.S. to a tsunami.
So the alert worked, but my phone is on silent.
So is mine, and I haven't gotten the alert yet. What's interesting about this is the alerts actually it goes from FEMA. It actually goes to the cell towers, and the cell towers will start sending out the alert over and over for about a half-hour period of time until everyone who has their phone on gets it.
Today's alert actually was a test of an alert that would be sent by the president to give advance warning of a national crisis like a terror attack or a missile about to hit the United States. It's similar to the local Amber and weather alerts sent to mobile phones. Planning for the alert system began in 2006, but some people said their phones didn't go off. 12 minutes after the alert, we asked the Duncans,
Did you get the alert?
No.
You didn't? What service are you on?
T-Mobile. T-Mobile.
Officials say if you do ever see a real presidential alert, pay attention. FEMA's Antoine Johnson.
Take those things very seriously when they come across your mobile device or it appears on radio and television. They're not the type of alerts that should be ignored at any time.
Obviously, we're going to do the emergency, because that's what it is. It's a national emergency.